Hey, welcome back, my amazing student. So on the last lecture, we were able to make this work, right? Our application is actually working really nicely. Let me see if I have the browser for some reason. Yeah, it's not there. There we go. I don't know why it was just in the wrong place. Anyway, so on the last lecture, we made this work. We were able to put some data in the database, and that's great. But we are in the blind here. We don't see, we're keeping our users on the blind, right? They don't see any notifications here for when this is empty, when data is actually inserted in the database. They don't know anything, right? We don't know. So what we need to do is we need to give them or give this application some notifications or some flat messages here to let us know what's going on. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to do that together, right? So let's go to base.html here, and right above here, let's see if we can make this happen, all right? So what I'm going to do is going to use Jinja, of course, and we're going to use a variable here, a temporary variable. Basically, you can think of it like this. So with messages, and then we're going to get this function. It's going to say get flashed messages. This function is going to allow us to get the messages. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pass a different option here. I know you see me doing this differently in other playlists, but I'm going to show you something different here. That's why you should never skip lectures, all right? So with categories, I'm going to pass in this to be true. What this is going to do is going to allow us to get this second category or the second option here, so that way we can see what's going on, right? We can detect it and do something with it. Let me show you. So let's go back in here, and let me close this real quick before I forget. And with. There we go. I'm going to get a package. I think I got an extension. I got an extension on another editor that I'm using where every time I type in one of these Jinja tags, it will finish it for me. So I don't have to keep doing that. I think Visual Studio has one that's really good, but I forgot the name. But you can get an extension so that way when you can set this up really, Visual Studio, however you want. Every time you type in one of these tags, you get the ending one as well, all right? So that's very useful when you're writing applications that are super long. Anyway, so if, and then I'll close it myself. I'll probably do that in the next lecture, but anyway. And then we also need the for loop in here. So let's do that, for, and let's just close it as well. And for, all right? Let's bring that down. All right, that looks good so far, right? In the if statement here, what I want to do is I want to wrap this in a div, and I'm going to give it a class of, we're using Tailwind, by the way, space, vertical 2, and then some margin bottom to be 4, right? And we'll do that in here. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me see this. Yeah, if messages, and let's put this inside the if statement right here. We need the for loop inside. See, all right. So if message, all right, this is, yeah, this is good so far. So let's do, we're gonna take out the category first, and then here we'll take out the message. In messages. That's how it's going to work. That's how you're going to take it out. We're going to take it out, right? And here, let's get another div here. And this is where we're going to do some of the styling here. So in this div here, let's do some of this stuff. So the first class that I want here, let's just do it here, is some padding here. And then we want another more padding. Let's make it round, large, and the text should be something small. Font, medium is fine. All right. All right. So where I am, guys, I'm in the Caribbean right now. It's super humid, and I got a bunch of mosquitoes. Sometimes they get in my office, even though I got the AC on, which is really annoying. But anyway, yeah, I'm recording these videos, guys. Hopefully you guys get something out of it, because I'm fighting here to get these videos for you. So anyway, let's go here. Let's just say if inside, as a matter of fact, hold on. We're going to break this down here. We're going to do this inside a class, right? So watch what I'm doing. I'm using Jinja here, right? So inside, I'm using this if statement, and I can say if the category equals success, right? Remember, this is what we're getting from here, the second parameter every time we flash something. But we're good with, you know, this is for the success one. And yeah, this actually, I saved it, and that causes this to look like that. Anyway, if this is success, then we want to display something, right? What do we want to display? Well, let's bring this down, actually. Hold on. We got to bring this down because we're still inside this class. I'm not going to save it because once I save it, it's a problem. But my finger, I got a trigger finger. So we're going to put the green if it's success, and the text is going to be, let's make it simple, white. Okay? And then we got an elif here. And we're going to say elif category is equal to error. Okay? Then we want the background to be red. And we're going to make it this red to be, let's make it darker, 600. So the more up the numbers, the darker it is, the color, right? And this framework, Tailwind CSS, all right? So we're going to make the text white here, and then we're going to do an else statement here. We'll finish it up with the else. And here we'll make it, anything else would be slate 600. And the text white. And let's actually close it so we don't have no errors. And with, and if, actually, there we go. All right, because we had to close it here. Got elif to another condition and the else. All right. Hopefully we get this working. Let's save it. And yeah, we got that all there. And let's just come back here. Let's see. Refresh. Yeah, and we can see that we have a problem. We have a syntax error. So this is good that it happened to me, so that way I can show you some of this, you know, gotchas, some of these mistakes that we can make when we are playing around with Jinja, right? So let's inspect this from the top bottom. I'm going to inspect this whole block, and just bear with me for a minute, all right? So let's inspect this line by line. And yeah, we can see that I misspelled this here. And yeah, I missed this here. This is the if messages. Let's go back here. Let's bring that down. And I'm not going to save it this time because every time I save it, this gets, you know, arranged by the prettier extension. Yeah, I misspelled this class. Let's see what else. And this is super good, guys. Super good. I'm going to leave this lecture here so that way you can see, and just bringing this down, I can see the error right here as well. I misspelled that. My English is not the best looking. That's okay. We are fixing it, guys. All right. What else? This looks like about it, right? Error here. This and this. Yeah, we have like 5 errors in there. Unbelievable. Let's save it. Let's come back here, let's refresh, and voila, it's actually working. Really good stuff. All right. All righty, let's go into the habits here. And if I do this, you can see that, you know, we have a notification there, but we have no text. So let's put something here. Let's do message. Right there. There we go. And let's refresh, and name is required. Let's create a new habit. What's the new habit that we can create? Check things carefully. There we go. That's a new habit, right? And there we go. Habit created. So we have some really cool notifications here. Really awesome stuff. Yeah, we got it, guys. All right. So hopefully you guys don't mind when I leave these errors here, so that way I can help you, you know, avoid this in the future, especially when you're beginning with Jinja. I make these errors sometimes purposely and leave them there, but sometimes I do write super fast in my head all this code, and by the time it gets to my hands, I forget some of these things. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. and keep being consistent. Keep up with me because I'm going to show you everything that you need to know in all these technologies so that way you can be successful. My job is to make you successful. If I don't make you successful, then I'm failing. All right? One way or the other, some of you are going to be very successful. Thank you so much, and guys, and I see you on the next lecture.